Hello, Oprah. My name is Cry Stopper, and I want my own. I've given a lot of thought to what I would like to express, so therefore, without further ado, I feel that I want to express myself. Cry Stopper is also Christopher, and it's broken down CHRI, which is cry, STOP is stop, and HER is her. So I broke it down to Cry Stopper, CRYSTOPPER. I am a multi-talented, unsigned, and undiscovered singer and songwriter, poet, philosopher, photographer, fashion designer, actor, comedian, and I am a very spiritual person. And what I would really love to do is to have a show based on my spiritual beliefs and what I have learned or what I have been taught from a very, very young age. First of all, knowledge is two words: know and ledge, or know the ledge. To know the ledge of knowledge is very critical to everyone. As I said, nothing is a coincidence, and everything is not just coincidence, but something that was ordained and prescribed by the Creator, the Supreme Unseen Being, which has many names and many attributes. Well, anyway, I'm going to get to that at a later time. But what I can say right now, as far as to that, is that there's many different languages on this planet Earth. Therefore, there's many different ways to express the name of God. Just because we don't speak Hebrew, that does not mean that Elohim is not God. Just because we don't speak Arabic, that doesn't mean that Allah is not God. Just because we don't speak Korean, that doesn't mean Hananim is not God. Just because we all don't speak Spanish, that don't mean that Dios is not God. Because Dios is God in Spanish. Hananim is God in Korean. Allah is God in Arabic. Elohim is God in Hebrew. We all must, on this earth, strive to make this earth a better place. To have peace on this earth is what is prescribed. And basically, we must seek peace on this earth beyond all reasonable measures. Well, what I'm trying to express to you is that we cannot continue on this earth to express hate for ourselves for our situation, for the things that we have been through in life, for where we are today. We can't continue to express hate for others just because they're not the same nationality, the same color, the same race, the same eye color, just because we don't have the same beliefs or the same religion or the same thought processes, just because we are taught differently. We all must love one another beyond repair. If we continue to let hate rule our lives, then there's going to be an ultimate price to pay for hate. I want to express myself, and I want to be straight to the point in my show. I want to be straight to the point. I want to be uncut, and I want to do it as of right now, this moment. To live life backwards, straight out, it's evil. It's not a coincidence. Life is not a coincidence. And it's not a coincidence that live, spelled backwards, is E-V-I-L. L-I-V-E is E-V-I-L, backwards. Live, spelled backwards, is evil. It's not a coincidence. And I can't continue to keep what I know to myself any longer. There's a book that I want to write, and I haven't completed that book. I really, really want to. But the things that I want to express to you is actually parts that are in the book that I am writing. And the title of that book I wish not to disclose right now, because the title of the book, just the title by itself, is pretty much raw and uncut, and I wish not to express that at this time. All I have to say is that there's going to become a time in life after we've lived on this earth, and after we've lived on this earth, when our body goes back to its 100% physical form, which is the dust from this earth, and it separates from our spirit, and our spirit goes back into its 100% spiritual form, because this earth is a resting place for our spirit. The things that you express in this life is definitely going to follow you into the next life. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You want to take hate with you? Then hate will go with you. You want to take love with you? Then love is going to go with you. But life doesn't stop when you go back into your 100% spiritual form and it separates from the 100% physical form. This earth is a resting place for our spirit, and our bodies, our physical bodies, is part of this earth. And without our spirit, then I'm quite sure that our bodies would not have any functions. So we have to be grateful and thank God and pray every day for even the bad things that happen to us in life. If we thank God for everything that we're going through in life and show our appreciation to the Creator, Supreme Unseen Being, Like I said, there's many different languages on this earth. There's many different ways to express the name of God. Just because we don't speak a certain language, that don't mean that name is not God. Because that will be you and me discriminated against somebody else because they speak another language. And that is absolutely wrong. Because, as I said, I'm going to try to express myself a little bit faster because I want to be straight to the point and I have a lot to say. So therefore, I'm going to be straight to the point and I'm going to have a lot to say. Knowledge is everlasting. It's made up of a 3/4 part water and 1/4 part firmament. Just like this earth is made up of 3/4 part water and 1/4 part firmament. We are very symbolically made and designed as this earth and this solar system. There's 9 major planets in our solar system, just like there's 9 major holes in our body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is not a coincidence. Everything that I'm speaking is not a coincidence. But, like I said, getting back to what I was saying earlier about the time when we will separate our spirit from our body. Lived, spelled backwards. If you lived your life backwards, then at that time, all you got to do is write the word lived backwards on a piece of paper. Lived is spelled L-I-V-E-D. Spell it backwards. Once you spell it backwards, they're going to say if you lived your life backwards, then you go and you dwell among whatever lived spelled backwards is. Dwell amongst. But see, certain people know for a fact that hell is as fire is to gold, only for the purpose of purifying your soul. But hell is not everlasting, only if you want it to be. For God is most gracious, most merciful, most compassionate, most glorified, most high, most beloved, most praised, most worshipped. That's God. God. Those are some of the attributes of God, some of the names of God. If you take gold and you place it into fire, if you take something that's 10 karat gold and you place it into fire, it will separate the gold from the chromium and nickel or whatever impurities are in that gold and change it back into its natural form, which is 999.9 carats, which is approximately 23.5 carats, just like there's approximately 23.5 hours in a day. But to even it out, let's say it's 24 carats and 24 hours in a day. When you place gold into fire, it changes it back into its natural form, which is 24 karat solid gold. Without being placed into that gold, without being placed into that fire, gold cannot be purified. That's why I express myself in my philosophy and my terminology and saying hell is as got fire is to gold, only for the purpose of purifying your soul, but hell is not everlasting, only if you want it to be. For God is most gracious, most merciful, most compassionate, most high, most glorified, most praised, most beloved. Nobody, a few people will observe and understand exactly what I'm saying as being the truth. To purify things, you must, the earliest form of purification process, even food and meat and things like that, like a long time ago. Take for instance when you get your ears pierced. Before there was chemicals to purify the needles, before they stick them into your ear to pierce your ear or something like that, they always stuck it into fire first to purify it. Got it red hot to purify the tip of that needle. That's the way surgical tools were purified back then, before they started using chemicals for the purification process or other forms of purifying things. They placed it into fire. So, with all being said is that God is very compassionate. God is a compassionate God, and I'm quite sure that what doesn't spiritually kill us will only make us spiritually stronger. I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about spiritual now. I'm not talking about a physical death, because a physical death won't hurt me. Physical death ain't gonna hurt me. A spiritual death will. A spiritual death is gonna hurt. Therefore, I must continue. As I said, everything is not a coincidence. Take, for instance, news. News gives us directions on what's happening in the world. News gives us direction of where floods are, where wars are, where earthquakes are. News gives us directions of where things are, where accidents are, where national disasters are, what routes to take in the case of an accident on this freeway, what routes to take in the case of a national emergency, which routes to take to be in a safe predicament, or to be placed in a safer area, which exits to take in the case of a tornado or flood or earthquake, where to go to seek shelter, to seek help. News is directions. It gives us directions of where things are. Not just floods, not just national disasters, not just wars, but social events, plays, movies. It gives us directions. News is directions. It gives us directions of where things are, where movies are, where parties are, where gatherings are, where special occasions are, where celebrations are. News is directions, and I'm expressing myself because the reason why I'm speaking about news is because it's not a coincidence. News is spelled N-E-W-S, and I have informed you that news is directions. Well, it's not a coincidence that N-E-W-S is north, east, west, and south. This is not a coincidence. And as I said, everything in life is not a coincidence. We have to start, we as a whole, as everyone, I'm talking about everyone on earth, we have to start observing, loving everyone, regardless of their nationality, their race, their color, their creed, their heritage, their wants, their beliefs, their sexual gender, everything. We have to stop discriminating, stop hating, because if we let hate rule our lives, then there won't be no hope for no future for no one. There won't be no hope. So I'm basing this one show on spiritualism, love, spiritualism and love, and it's going to be raw and uncut, because I feel that that we can learn a lot from one another in this world. You know, this world is not just America. This world consists of many continents: Alaska, North Pole, South Pole, Greenland, Iceland, Europe, Asia, Malaysia, China, Russia, Germany, Tokyo, Japan, Hawaii, Samoa, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, so on and so forth. Israel, Palestine. This is the whole world. The whole world. And we should do it now, because it's coming a time in our lives when we are going to let the things that are most important to us destroy us. We're going to let the most important things to us destroy us. And let's start with religion. Let's start right there. Let's start there. We can't let something that we believe in so much destroy us. I would love to inform everyone of things that I've learned, things that have been taught, things that have come to me and that I must express to someone because I can't no longer keep it to myself. This is something that's very passionate. Just like my gown designs. I'm an artist. I'm a left-handed artist. That's very beautiful, intricately designed gown designs. I'm a singer and songwriter. I have very, very beautiful songs. Very beautiful songs. These are spiritual type R&B ballads, but more on the spiritual type of love in these ballads than the physical love. It is spiritual love. But if you cannot feel physical love without having a spiritual love, without having a spirit, you have no feelings. You have no feelings without having spirit. There is no feelings without a spirit.